Do y'all think this is the end of McGregor? Do you think there's a comeback story? Him riding off in the sunset.
They say they're gonna. I mean,
like not the end as in he will never fight again.
But like
the end as
will he come back as a top tier fighter?
Yeah.
I think he was right. Probably had the bows on the ground. He was throwing bows on Conor. You tell me like 2 or 3 of those bows that connected did not result in a concussion for Conor. Think about that. Like,
I don't know. I think some of them dudes are just built different, including Conor.
I think a lot of UFC guys are just like they're just born to be like.
For Conor to have his leg snapped, like I've snapped my leg in half just like that, mind you. For him to snap his leg in half like that and still be just so calm to be talking about how main cuz wife was in his DMs, like you don't feel pain. My leg is snapped.
Yeah, exactly. Like he just was like,
you don't feel pain, bro. Like that shit is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, as we go there, I don't know. Sam and I watched it.
Irishman. God damn.
I will say, when Sam and I were watching it, we did a live stream. We were so hype, and we were saying in that live stream, like, hopefully when we do the post-fight Instagram live, we're gonna be happy for you guys. We're gonna be excited for you guys, so you guys can see, how hype we are for Conor because we're Conor fans. And then when that happened, we were just like a little bit frustrated, but more just like upset because we were like, oh, we wanted to see that second round. Now, listen, everybody that's saying that, there's all like most of these people like are just commenting saying that like Conor sucks, like he hasn't been that. He's only had one win in like the last 4 or 5 years. He's ass, whatever. But like we wanted to see him win, and like sure, like we're not sitting here saying that he's gonna come and win the second round and go and win the fight, but nobody wanted to see it end like that. And I think there was an article that I was reading on ESPN that was saying that Dustin like was saying that he basically didn't get like essentially the closure that he wanted.
Not at all.
Because he didn't win that way. Even though on the fight, the motherfucker is walking around doing his thing when the dude's got the snapped leg, like whatever. And like, he literally said, and he's like, no, I won that fight. But then comes back later and he's like, I don't have the closure. I don't understand that. Is there going to be a fourth fight?
Without a doubt. 100%.
Say what you were saying about the fourth fight. How you were saying that Dustin would be stupid to take it.
Well, he'd be stupid to take it if he beats Charles Oliveira, and I mean realistically he'll probably fight in like maybe December, January. If he gets the belt and he'll never fight Conor McGregor ever.
Yeah, you're right about that.
But if he loses to Oliveira and he's like, let's say, so he's a number 1 ranked contender now. Let's say he loses to Oliveira, and then he's like not going to get the next title shot. I mean, if he wants to make a quick like 15, 20 million, he might as well just fight Conor again.
Facts.
Like Conor might not be in his fighting prime, but without a doubt makes the most money of anybody in the UFC.
They were saying that about Khabib too, like he'd be done to fight Conor again.
Yeah, like
there's no point to take that risk.
Well, Khabib is different because like Khabib is like clear without a doubt head and shoulders above every lightweight that's ever fought in the UFC. So that's different. And also Khabib is like, I want to say Khabib is the second highest paid UFC fighter ever behind Conor because he fought Conor and he got bread from that. But like just Dustin, I mean, apparently Dustin even in his like post-fight presser was like, yeah, like this isn't over, blah blah. Like he said something else, but he said like basically it's not over. And like I would not be shocked if Dustin loses to Charles Oliveira if Conor, because I mean by then Conor will probably be ready to get back in the octagon. I won't be surprised if they fight a fourth time.
No, I think it happens. It's unfortunate for Conor, like because people were on his ass obviously because all the antics and how he is as a person, but like. If you look at it, like I have to hold him accountable too, but he built his career on that. Like he was a great fucking fighter and he's a great entertainer. So now you see how like he's kind of slowly getting out of his prime. It's like, all right, we don't know you for fighting anymore. We know you more for entertaining. And that's why I feel like more that like the hate's coming in. But it's like that's who he is. It's not like you know what I mean. I don't think he deserves as much hate as he's been getting for that shit.
Yeah.
Well, what I would say to Conor is nothing about how he lost or anything or that like he hasn't been that successful in the past couple of years. I would say that, and I told you this too, Sam, and everybody should be in agreement on this, even if you aren't a fucking Conor McGregor fan. He made the UFC what it is. The UFC would not be where it is without Conor McGregor to this day. No chance. He's bringing the money in. He's putting butts in seats, and that's because there was not many fighters.
I'd say I wouldn't say he made it. I'd say he revived it.
That's a good word for it.
That era with Chuck Liddell, Boris Griffin,
but those guys were not doing the shit that he was doing in the press
but
conferences.
Back when those guys were in their prime, like UFC was huge, and then guys like Chuck and all them, they retired and it kind of fell off for a little bit. And then Conor came and it went back up.
Yeah. Well, because it turned into more of like those guys were more like respect at the conversation. And you see him and he's like, who the fuck is that? Like you see that and then everyone's like, oh, I'm firing the fuck up. And he's like, fuck the Mayweathers. Like seeing that, like he's firing everybody up. Everybody wants to go see him.
Can you say that one more time?
Fuck the Mayweathers. But That's how it was, and that's how we built it. And that's why when we were talking about Jake Paul, it's essentially the same thing. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. The Jake Paul difference is he's doing the smart thing. He's being kind of a dickhead, but everybody
kind of.
Yeah, but
Jake Paul has it coming.
But he's doing that, and he's doing exactly what Conor is doing in the press conferences and talking all this shit and doing this and that. Everybody wants to go watch him, but they want to go watch him lose. Everybody that is fans of Conor because he's doing essentially the same thing, they want to watch him win. That's the difference.
I think it's even there's people that want to watch Conor lose too, but
right.
that helps the stigma of the MMA because so many people are going to watch a Conor fight because you have millions of people that want him to win, and you have millions of people that want him to lose so bad.
Exactly.
Well, and you can probably attest to this too. It's different when and people say, oh well, there's better fighters to watch. You can go watch Adesanya. He's good in the press conferences, but he's not like Showtime entertainment like Conor. If you put, for example, John Jones, who is a big money fight, in front of that press conference as a main card in front of Conor, no chance, right, Sam? No chance.
What are you saying?
Because no
chance that what?
Because Conor's going to bring more of the money fights. He's going to bring more of the butts in the seats. So John Jones will never be that top card, and that's why I think recently or a couple months ago he's been frustrated because he's not getting his bag from UFC, and he was saying all that shit on Dana White because he's not getting the money. But it's like it goes for anybody, even people that are working at ESPN. Same thing with Maria Taylor getting her money with Stephen A. Smith. He gets the views. That's why he's getting the money. Mm-hmm. Same with John Jones. Conor McGregor gets the views. There's a stat where it's like
I think John Jones.
He has
John Jones is the undisputed GOAT, but I think his time came and went.
No, yeah, it did. And there's a stat for Conor where it's like I think 6 or 7 of the top 9 pay-per-view fights Conor's in.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even as high. And that's not even his highest paid pay-per-view ever. He made
entertainment.
I mean, the man made $150 million when he fought Mayweather, and then was just like, you know what, like, oh, I now have $500 million in the bank. Let me just go back and fight. Like,
yeah, that's why this sparks another question. Is what we talked about too on the live was, is he done after this? Because essentially,
what is he fighting for now? Ego?
That's what I said. Essentially, like, he has his money. There's no reason to fight. It's like literally he can essentially pull. It's not the same, but he can pull an Andrew Luck. Mm-hmm. He got his money. There's no need for him to do it again. But I said to you on the live stream as well. It's like leaving on a miss when you're doing free throws before the end of practice. It's like ending on a miss. I think he wanted to end on a win. I think if he won this, he would go for the title shot against Oliveira, and then if he lost that, then I think he would be done.
That'd be fire to see McGregor go out just like Triple C did. Because when Triple C retired when he won the belt, that shit fucked me up. But like he went out like a boss. Like I could see McGregor doing the same type of thing. And he's the type of dude where like, I'm leaving. I'm the fucking king. I'm leaving with the crown. Like I could see him doing shit like that. It'd be cool. But I also see a point. Like what are you fighting for now? Your legs snapped. Like your last wins against Cowboy. Like you're just you're. I want to say you're a meme now, but you're pretty close to it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing I wanted to say is I don't know if you guys saw. I read this article on ESPN as well. Jake Paul got this $100,000 Sleep
McGregor chain.
So it's the picture of when he was slept.
Oh yeah. I did see that.
He's holding a NyQuil. It's a $100,000 chain. I think his belt or something is all diamonds, and his diamond chain, whatever. So he tweeted at Dustin and said, "I think you deserve this more than me. You earned this more than me. Do you want it?" So he said, "Ship it over." So, and Jake Paul was saying he hopes that he takes pictures with it, but what he's doing is he's taking it from him and then he's going to auction it off for charity.
Oh no!
Nice.
Yeah,
bro, they're violating.
Dude.
I think
I would keep that bitch if I was Dustin, bro.
Nah,
they're violating, bro. Like McGregor might come back on some shit. He's about to have a whole year off.
That was the difference. Why I like this fight so much better than the last. Seeing Conor, what's the word I'm looking for? Fuming and
hungry, like really hungry.
Just. His antics were back. Like, sure, I like seeing him. That's when people knew. Like,
do you think that's a cope for him not being as good a fighter anymore, or do you think that's just him being him? Like, do you think him raising the antics is him, like in his subconscious, knowing I'm not as good at fighting anymore?
No, I think he's fucking back. I think he's hungry again. So, because when a lot of people were like
how do you think he looked, Sam? Like, he did lose that first round 10-8, but how do you think he looked?
I mean,
Sam also had Dustin winning.
Realistically, well, yeah, I never thought Conor was going to win that fight. Dustin's been the best lightweight in the world since Khabib retired. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I didn't think he looked bad. Like, obviously, he's not what he was in 2016 when he was, like, the biggest draw in the UFC. But, like, really, like, Dustin didn't even take him down. Like, he went for the guillotine and, like, made the mistake of going to the ground with Dustin, who's a far superior wrestler than him. Right. But, like, in terms of striking, like, if he was really back, that fight, if he was really back, that fight should have been over in the first round.
That fight shouldn't have went to the ground.
He should have if he was actually what he used to be, he should have been able to land that clean left that he seems to always land on everyone.
Because you were screaming for it. He's like, "Where's the left? Where's the left?"
Well, that's the other
He
thing
did
too.
cook him,
Like
though, and Dustin said that.
My friend was talking about this the other day. Like, ever since he went to box Floyd Mayweather, his style is so different. Like, he used kicks in that fight, but like in the first fight when he fought Dustin in January, like he didn't even kick. Like, he literally just tries to throw punches now. Like, he thinks he's only a boxer now.
So maybe that training fucked him up, huh?
Yeah, like, I just think like
that was the game plan.
He's so like. You look at people like Max Holloway. Like, Max Holloway can afford to be just a boxer. Cause like the dude's got so many strikes in the arsenal. Conor's really like more of like when he was at his peak in 2016, he could do pretty much whatever he wanted. He's a really good counter striker. That left hand put everyone to sleep.
He was from what I remember about Conor. I'm not as well versed in MMA as you. I just watch a fucking lot. He's just so unorthodox.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck's gonna come.
You don't know
like,
what he's gonna
Prime
do.
Conor, you have no idea what the fuck's gonna come. He might spin around and kick you in the gut. He might take it, hit you with the left. Like, you know what I mean?
And now all he does is throw punches. Like, everyone knows, like, oh, he's not gonna try and other than like Cowboy, that's different. I mean,
that was
as much as I love Cowboy, the dude's been washed for years now. Like,
I don't think he even wanted to fight in that. He didn't want to take that fight.
Yeah.
No.
He just wanted to get his money in bounce. Like, I don't blame him, but like
thing. Everybody knows what did Conor say in the
like
in
my
that
thing
one
is
press conference?
if you don't have a filler fight versus Cowboy Conor, you haven't won a
fight since 2016. Or
like, since
like,
Obama.
Literally since you beat Nate Diaz, or since you beat Nate Diaz.
He wanted to chase his bag just like everybody else. Like talking about Cerrone. What did he say in that one press conference? I think it was like one of the same back in 2016 when he said, "Who the fuck is that guy?" I think he was just like, "Everybody wants to fight me. I'm the money fight." And he's like, "You call your wives. Hey baby, we made it.
It's red panty night. Break out the red panties."
Yep, we made it. We made it.
Red panties.
But that's true. Everybody wants his money fight.
Fact.
So then that's what he built his whole thing on.
That's the reason why he's never. That's why until he legitimately retires, he's never not gonna be fighting. Because like Dana White makes bags and bags and bags and bags of money off this guy, even if he loses. Like that broke. Dana White said in the press conference, he was like, "Yeah, this already set the most record for most pre-buys of a fight ever."
Imagine because then they're gonna build the comeback
story.
Up,
exactly.
Like a little, like you know the UFC YouTube, they'll do the documentaries following and Conor and his training and shit.
It's gonna be
build this
like
whole shit up.
He's still gonna be able to make Dana White money, and at the end of the day, it's a business. Dana White is trying to make money, so Conor McGregor will fight again. Who will he fight? I don't know, but he will fight somebody again.
I do think that was the game plan though, because you remember, like you just pointed out, the leg kicks and everything. He changed it. Instead of back in January when he was getting kicked out the gate in the leg, he reversed it and he started doing that out the gate, and he was getting them. And that's why they said, Dustin said, "Oh, like it was on that leg, leg check,
that leg kick that he checked with the elbow.
Yep.
It literally like his leg like wrapped around the dude's elbow."
So I don't know if maybe that was part of it, but I mean, he did literally.
Kavanaugh, his trainer, Coach Kavanaugh, said that basically before the fight, I mean, obviously no one knows if this is real or not. It might just be an excuse, but he basically said they went to an orthopedic surgeon like a month before the fight. Something happened in training, and they did like X-ray and like MRIs and stuff. And apparently, there possibly could have been a fracture in his left leg prior to the start of the fight.
I believe it. No, I believe.
Which like, but like, think about it. Like,
broke so easy.
Exactly. Like, if it broke that easy, like. Just like it, because it was realistically like when he kicked him in the head, he didn't snap his leg in half. Like it fractured probably, but then he stepped back and it was just so sudden, like literally just like that. Like and his foot was gone.
He twisted his his toes almost looked like they twisted, and then he just fell back and it just like just the weight kind of snapped it.
I think well as I've been watching it back, I think really what happened was I think it broke when he stepped forward to punch. And then he went back and it was gone, and he tried to put weight on it, and it was already broken, so it just folded under.
Facts. So do y'all think this is the end of McGregor? Do you think there's a comeback story, him riding off in the sunset?
They say they're gonna. I mean,
like not the end as in he will never fight again,
but like
the end as
will he come back as a top tier fighter?
Yeah.
I think he was very fortunate to have this fight though, because then if he wins, then he gets Oliveira and then he gets the belt.
Yeah,
you know
but I think I'm not gonna. I don't want to say he's done because we've seen plenty of fighters be like mid 30s and still like look at Wonderboy. Wonderboy was like 36, 37. Like
he had a good fight.
like could have beaten Gilbert Burns if Burns didn't just do takedowns all the time. But like,
dude's just a
Burns is
gorilla.
yeah,
bro.
he's
That dude's
nasty.
a gorilla.
Dude, but that's the thing.
I love Gilbert Burns.
The
bro.
thing with
That was
the
a good
welterweight
fight.
division is like it does not matter how nasty you are, you're not beating Usman. Like you have no chance. The only
No chance.
I've said this before. I think the only person in the entire division that gives Usman a fight is Colby Covington. He's the
I
only
need to
one in
see
the whole
that- I need
division.
to see that fight so bad because I fucking hate Kobe, but he's nasty.
He's a beast,
Yeah.
dude. The first time he fought, literally since Usman has had the belt, Colby Covington's the only one that's given him a fight. Like
Yep.
Colby Covington got his jaw broken in the first round,
Yep.
and then fought for another like almost 20 minutes.
was going right
and
at him.
eventually, yeah, like he was just coming forward. The pressure. As much as I hate Colby Covington as a person, terrible human being, dude can
He can
scrap.
mix, bro. He
The
can
dude
mix.
can scrap.
I love it too because I want to see that rivalry pop off.
Yes.
You see the clip of them and they were like, I don't know if it was an airport or something, but it was Usman's group and Kobe's group.
Yeah, and they were-
beefing
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
Like, I love shit like
Yeah,
that.
I love
bro.
that
like,
stuff.
I need to see him fight again. But damn,
The last thing I'll say on this UFC stuff is I saw an article today, and Christian, you can check me on this as well. I saw a tweet come out, and Dana White either quoted it or it was an Instagram comment or something, and it was for UFC 266, Nick Diaz and Robbie Lawler,
fire.
September
Yep.
for UFC 266.
Fire.
That's gonna be great to see Nick in there. Lawler's obviously a badass dude, but I don't know when the last time I saw his ass.
Lawler, it's probably been about 2 years, a year or two.
It's been a while since
Yeah.
he's. I mean, yeah, it's been a while since he's fought.
So and as we look at the next card, I don't know. I really don't know what to say about Conor other that it was just upsetting and frustrating to see that pan out. I mean, I'm a Conor McGregor fan. I like the entertainment. I like how he's talking all the shit. And the absolute last thing I will say is
I want to say something after you.
Okay.
You got.
the last thing that I will say before Sam kind of closes this out is when Dustin said like, oh, you don't say that, like I'm gonna murder you in the ring, because I loved when he was in the press conference. He's like, you are dead in that ring. I'm gonna send you on a stretcher. You are dead in that ring. And he said, oh, you don't say that. I'm gonna murder
Why
you,
not?
whatever. And I'm like, bro, you're in the fighting game.
Why
Like
not?
that's what it is. You're in the fighting game.
Motherfucker,
I don't know what to tell
You
you.
think that's bad? Here's someone on the football field.
I don't know what
God
to tell you.
damn.
I really don't know what to tell you. You're in the fighting game. Like sure, he was probably like he was 100% serious about that, but like it's also selling the fight even more. I mean, people still have another day because that was Friday
Yeah.
night, Friday afternoon for the
Yeah.
weigh-ins.
Yeah.
That people still had another day to purchase the pay-per-view. So when he said that, also sure it was totally serious, but also it's selling the pay-per-view because people are going to be like, oh shit, he's going to kill him. I'll put him on a stretcher. Okay, here's my $70 for the main card. Click, purchase, add to cart,
Yeah.
buy.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Exactly. Is
What do
my
you
turn?
want- yeah, go ahead, go
I
ahead,
was just gonna say, I think Conor McGregor. I mean, he didn't look like he used to look, but I think it's been a wild over exaggeration of people acted like he was 100% like gonna get knocked out. Like he might have absolutely, but like the people act like the way he fought that fight was like, oh dude, he's so washed up. But it's like, I mean, he broke his ankle. It's not like he got. I would have rather seen him get KO'd, have a little closure, know like, oh, he's not the same anymore. Like he's done. But like, I think it's just been a wild over exaggeration of his downfall in terms of like, the dude broke his ankle. Like people are acting like he was getting like destroyed the whole fight. Like yeah, he probably got realistically 10-9, maybe a 10-8. He had 2 10-8s, but like there was 4 more rounds in that fight. Who knows what would have happened? You know what I mean? Like if he
And